Hi guys, so let's now go through the technicals from Rockschool's Grade 1 ukulele grades. We're going to start off with Group A, which is the scales. Set your metronome at home to crotchet, that's a quarter note, equals 70 BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute, so 70 beats in a minute. Let's start off with the first one, C major. If you can, it would be preferable for you to play either using an alternating pick or to alternate your fingers. Try not to play everything with just the thumb. It's not the greatest way to kind of progress onto higher standard playing. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a count hint. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice when I did that I was moving my thumb and stopping the string that I just played, so you're really hearing clearly just the notes you want to hear. Okay, next one, A natural minor. Here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. G major. 1, 2, 3, 4. F major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so last scale. For section A, this is C major on third and fourth strings. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice there I moved up to second position. That means that I'm playing with first finger on second fret, second finger on third, third finger on fourth, and fourth finger on fifth. Okay, that means that I'm not having to play everything with the pinky and the middle finger. I'm using 1 and 3, which I think you'll all probably be stronger with. Okay, let's move on to Group B, which is our arpeggios. So again, our BPM is going to stay at 70 beats per minute. I've still got mine clicking away in my ear. We're going to start off with the G major. Now, for this, just put your chord shape down. It's going to be much easier. And then I would kind of suggest that you do this more like a classical guitarist. So you're going to use thumb for the bass notes, okay? And then you're going to come across with ring, middle, and index, and back to thumb. Okay, so it'd be like this. What? So it'd be 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, there is a rest there, so do make sure that you cut it after 2 beats. Let's try that one more time. 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, stop. Okay. For F major, you can't necessarily put the chord shape down, but you can prepare by putting the first finger down. So here we go. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. With that one, I used index and middle. Okay, D minor, I would go back to putting a chord shape down. Now, it's not a full D minor like we've used before in our debut grade. We're just doing the second finger and the first finger here on a D and an F, and then you've got the open A string at the top. Here we go. So I'd probably do this with thumb, index, and middle. So it'd be 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 beats. 1, 2, stop. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, stop. Cool. Okay, now let's move on to our chords. So with our chords, this is moving on to page 39. You've got your major chords, minor chords, and dominant seventh chords. The examiner will ask you to play them and you just strum them once. Make sure that all the notes are clear. We don't want to have any muted notes here. Everything needs to be clear, so get your positioning really nice. Make sure that your fingers are on the tips of the fingers, okay? And that you're bridging over the strings, just like we discussed in the previous grade playlist. Here we go. So here is A. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. 2, 3, 4, stop. Okay? Next chord is D major. Now this, again, make sure that the back of your ring finger doesn't block this high A string. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. 2, 3, and stop. Okay, now for the E, you can do this in two ways. You can either use the first little finger and third finger, or you can use the first, third finger and second. I would use third and fourth. It's less of a stretch, but you can do whatever you wish. Just make sure, though, that you don't strum this string. You only want to strum the top 3, okay? Here we go. So it's, I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Let it ring for 4. Stop. Okay, now we're moving on to our minor chords. So we've got D minor next, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Stop. E minor next. I'm going to do this with first, second and third. Now we can strum all 4 strings here. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Brilliant. Okay, now our final chord is B minor. Make sure that you only strum 3 strings. Don't strum the one that's closest to your face. Now, sometimes I keep saying bottom. That's because I'm generally playing a lot of guitar and I would be thinking of the string closest to my face as the lowest sounding string on the guitar. So I would call that the bottom. Okay, but here you can do this chord in 2 ways. You could either do 3 fingers placed on individual notes on that fret, or you could do a little barre, which means to block, to press down with 1 finger. Now, if you're going to do the barre, just make sure that your thumb is in the right position, okay? So you get more into the middle of the neck. It comes flat, and you make like a clamp between the thumb and the first finger, and that gets us a nice clean chord. And I find that that's better because certain fingers aren't kind of getting in the way of each other and blocking other strings or stopping other strings from sounding, we should say. So here we go. B minor. 2, 3, 4. And stop. Okay, we're now moving on to the last 2 chords from your technical exercises, which are the dominant 7ths. Let's not go into the theory of why it's called a dominant 7th at the moment. We'll just get those chords. We'll do that in a different lesson. Okay, so with this one, it's like a mirror image of G, okay? So we're going to use middle finger, first finger, and third finger to get this chord. Here we go. I'll count you in. 3, 4. Let's do that again. We can strum all 4 strings. 3, 4. I only strummed 3 by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Okay, D7. Okay, I've still got that click going in my D7 with the third omitted. Okay, so this we're just going to use first and second, and then you've got 2 open strings. So first and second fingers, and then 2 open strings. So I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear every single note? Nice and clean. Make sure you do that in your exam.